Well, g'day out there, guys. Welcome to Series 3 of How You Going with Jason Owen, the long-awaited series. I've got to say, it's been a while. We've had it in the works for quite some time, and due to COVID and everything else that's been happening recently, it's been a long time in the works, but it's finally here. We're chatting to a handful of people from past reality shows. We're going to have a chat to them and throw them some questions and just have a yarn. And what a perfect time to release it when I'm in lockdown. I've fortunately losing a lot of shows and so forth like that. So now's a perfect time to release some chats and some talks and introduce you to some people that you've probably seen on reality TV shows over the past few years. And first up, we have probably realistically one of Australia's most controversial reality TV stars, Nassers Sultan from Married at First Sight. This was filmed a little while ago with Nasser. It was when the last series of Married at First Sight was on. And we chat about the reunion, which many people who watch Married at First Sight would have seen when Nasser went back to the reunion and there was a bit of a fight and all that type of stuff. But more importantly, I actually sit down with Nasser and I'm actually speaking to him about why he is the way he is. So many people don't like Nasser because he's outspoken and just the type of person that Nasser might be that seems to really get people fired up. We have a great chat to Nasser about this. And funny thing is, he can't remember my name. He keeps calling me Justin through the chat, which is quite interesting. But yeah, it's I certainly don't muck around with this one, guys. I certainly hit him with some questions and make sure we get the best out of Nasser because I think he needs to. He's got a few things to answer. And guys, Nasser, the man himself, joins me now. How are you, Nasser?
Very, very well. Very well. I can't complain. And if I do complain, just cut me off.
You're all right, mate. Mate, it's a bit hard to know where to start with you as you're probably reality TV's most controversial star. Would I be right in saying that?
100%. Actually, the most controversial. And not just that, I've say to myself, controversial for 3 years, 3 to 4 years, not just like 1 week. So it's pretty good.
Right, yeah, no, great. And you've recently dubbed yourself Australia's favourite celebrity. Now, tell me, why are you so deserving of that self-proclaimed title, mate?
Well, the thing is, it's like Princess Diana. Princess Diana was like the people's princess, wasn't she? She was the people's princess. Everyone loved her. Everyone looked up to her. She's done a lot of charity work and other. Well, I'm like the people's celebrity. I'm like, I go out there, I take photos, I kiss people, hang out with them. So I am the people's celebrity. I am Australia's favourite celebrity, really. I mean, I get a lot of messages saying, Nasser, we love you. We love your videos. We love the way you tell the truth. So, I've given myself that title.
Okay. You also you cop a lot of criticism too, though, don't you, Nasser?
A lot. I get a lot of criticism. But now I have a feeling it's become like, let's just send a message to Nasser just to upset him. And if I respond back, it's like, oh my God, he responded. I can't believe he responded. Do you know what I mean? I get a lot of those. They do it as a joke. And then when I do respond, they can't believe it. Lately, I've had a couple of messages from people saying, thank you so much for responding. I only wanted just to see if you get upset about it or just to get your attention, basically. So I do respond. Like to certain people, I respond.
Okay. So before we go any further, mate, let's talk about the most recent series of MAFS.
Yeah.
All right. So you were on the reunion special and stormed out of the dinner party after people such as Cyril and Michael accused you of online trolling, Nasser. Now, I'm not a big supporter of online trolling at all, and I wanted to ask your opinion on this. Do you think you are a troll towards these people?
No, I tell it how it is. Trolling is the definition of trolling is this. If I go into your private messages or I send you, I'll make it very clear. If I send you a private message saying your XYZ, blah, 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 right, that's trolling. But if there's an article that I'm tagged in or I see an article and I comment, that's a comment, not trolling. Right. So if you say Justin Owen is joining My Kitchen Rules, but he can cook really well, and I will make a comment saying that is bollocks. He can't even fry an egg. Now that's not trolling. But if I send you a DM, a private DM, and said Justin Owen, you're a loser, right? You shouldn't go on this show. That's trolling you. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's a whole different world. Trolling is when you attack someone personally. I don't attack them personally. I make a comment on the bollocks that they sell, the bollocks that they represent, and the way they behave.
Okay. Okay. So I know you're not trolling me because my name's Jason. It's not Justin. So that's a hand clap to you, that one. Mate, in regards to the walking aspect of the dinner situation, the reunion, was that the reason why you actually walked out? Was it uncomfortable? Is that the main reason why you walked out of the dinner party?
No, what happened was a lot happened in between. You know, I got tipped off by some journalists the day before or 2 days before saying, look, nobody likes you in there. They're all going to attack you. Be careful, but go in there anyway because you've got this sort of facade. You know, Australia's favourite celebrity, this and this and this. But he said, just be careful, be yourself, and don't change it. Don't change and say, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I did this. Just go in and just do whatever you got to do, right? So I thought, yeah, that's fine. So when we got in there, I expected the people like Kmart Kim, and I call her Kmart Kim, Martha, and her doormat boyfriend Michael, and Mike Kangaroo, whatever his silly name is, and Dean and all that. You know, they come up to you personally and go, look, you know, you did this. I want to have a talk to you about it. I'm not happy about it, blah, blah, blah. That didn't happen at all, right? So they waited till we sat down at the dinner party and then the attacking started. So when you get 20 people attacking you at the same time, well, that's a mob attitude. It's not about trolling. It's not about anything. It's about we hate you. We don't care about you. We're going to attack you, all of us. You know, when you get together 5, 6 people, it becomes stronger than having one-on-one because they were too weak to see me one-on-one. So they had to get this mob attitude and attack me. So I thought when it got heavier and then Cyril stood up, and you would have seen that, and she had a drink in her hand and she stood up and started to go off and swear. I mean, half of the swearing you guys didn't hear. I just said, you know, this is enough because you can't negotiate with losers. You can't negotiate with these people. These people are nobodies, right? You can't negotiate with them. The best thing to do is that before it gets even worse is to walk out and go because I've got nothing to prove. I got nothing to prove. I didn't really have to be there and I didn't really have to do it, but I did it for reasons other than just seeing these people. Do you know what I mean? I did it for other reasons. I didn't have to do it, but they rang me and said, look, we really want you to do it. Come in and blah, blah, blah. But in hindsight, it was for me to get baited and to make the ratings, and it made the ratings.
Okay, so why are they against you though? Is there a specific reason why they teamed up against you like that?
Well, yeah, because I mean, I bust them out. I call them influencers, which influencer to me is means scab. You're a scab. You're not an influencer. What are you influencing? They do silly things like take 100 million selfies. They don't produce anything. They don't go out and meet people. It's all about them. And when they lie about stuff, I say, you know what? You're lying about this. This is not true. You don't use that product. You're not going to use this. Put your clothes on. You don't have to take a photo with your bikini up your bum. So, you know, my commenting, and I get a lot of media out of it. So it's pure jealousy. I think it's pure jealousy because I've kept going for 3 years and a lot of them have just fallen by the wayside.
You think that they're jealous of you because you're still current?
100%. 100%. You talk to anybody, right? Anybody and say, okay, do you know maths? And I go, yeah. And I go, would you remember Nasser? And I go, of course we remember Nasser. Oh, would you remember Charlene from our season? Who? Would you remember Sarah Rosa? Who? Maybe I've seen her. Do you know what I mean? But do you remember Nasser? Of course I remember Nasser. There's a huge difference. And I worked very hard to get to that level.
Right. Okay. Who you had the biggest clash with from the show, mate? Because it's sort of hard. A lot of us in the public, you know, we see different stories all the time, so it's very hard to keep up with things like that. But who have you had the biggest clash with and why?
Mate, the biggest clash with Kmart Kim, Martha, and her doormat boyfriend, Michael. They're the two biggest fakes you have ever met in your life. She is a manipulator. She's a fake woman. She thinks she's bigger than what she is, and he just does as he's told. And I still don't believe that their relationship, maybe they're mates or they're in business together. I don't believe that their relationship is as what they think it is or what people think it is. So I had the clash with them. Who else? Tracy. Tracy's nothing. I mean, she's in Perth. Tracy's again another manipulator. But Cyril had a huge clash with her. But the rest were just there were nobodies. There was only Mike Kangaroo. He wanted to arc up a bit because he's a nobody as well. But he wanted to put his 20 cents in. But mainly Martha and her boyfriend. That was the real problem, and that's who started it.
Can I ask why they're a manipulator? Like, what have they done?
Well, she goes and talks on her podcast or his podcast or whatever on other people on reality TV, and she pretends she doesn't. She slagged everyone else basically, and she said she hasn't, which she has. So they just sort of manipulate, and I don't understand why Channel 9 actually gives her time. She's got nothing to contribute. It's not like she's smart or anything. If you've got to take your clothes off and do a video, a TikTok video in your bathroom with your clothes off, to me, you got nothing to sell. You don't need to do that. If you're cool and you're I don't know, smart, whatever, you don't have to take your clothes off and pretend. Do you know what I mean? Just do it. Just talk to people like me and you were talking. But they don't do that. She just tries to pretend something that she's not, and I can't stand that. I can't stand that fakeness.
Mate, you've recently described this year's cast of Married at First Sight, Married at First White, a bunch of Gold housewives and suburban husbands. What have you thought about the latest series, mate?
Mate, the latest series to me, they're all in it to be on TV. That's pure, simple. There's no other reason about it. They want to have their 5 minutes. I mean, there's the characters on there, all white, as you can see, and it's exactly what I described them as exactly what they are. There's no diversity in this show whatsoever, or any really other shows. They pick their troublemaker. They pick their chick that's going to have the affair. They pick the guy that's that's going to be picked on, and then you've got you'll always notice, and your listeners will hopefully notice that every Married at First Sight or whatever, there's always the darlings of the show, right? So the darlings of the show last year or the year before were Cameron and Jules, right? They were the darlings of the show. They were very well protected. The other darlings were Martha and Michael. They were sort of protected, yeah. This year you've got the dancer and her guy. They're going to be very well protected, right? So every show has a couple that's protected. But this year to me, it's all mismatch. It's like a total mismatch of personalities, looks, the whole thing. It just doesn't sort of add up. It's not like I'm following these stories and I'm falling in love with these characters. I'm not falling in love with any of the characters. I think these characters, when the show ends, no one's going to remember these characters. No one's going to remember them. They're going to look back and go, "Oh yeah, I think I remember her or I remember him." So that's why I described them like that. That's why the headline was that headline.
Mate, do you know these people personally that are on there this year?
I know Bryce really well.
Okay, so you don't know any of the others?
No, I don't. I don't need to know the others. I know. I get to know the others by their friends messaging me, and sending me photos and telling me what's going on. That's how I get to know the others. Is when they're ex-boyfriends and.
I just want to ask, because I've seen people write, and I wanted to ask this question because people say, what gives you the right to say that they're on there for fame when you don't know these people?
Well, because I will tell your people this. I mean, you definitely make sure this is in the recording. I get a lot of messages from ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, girls or guys that have dated them or know them or hang out with them, blah, blah, blah. That's how that I know all this stuff. Plus, I know, like I was telling you, I do a lot of media about this, and journos tell me that I've met them. I've met so-and-so that's in the show and is purely in it for fame. She's purely in it for Instagram. So it's all It's knowledge that I get from like the horse's mouth, as they say. It's not like I make the shit up, you know.
Okay,
Beautiful,
for mate. For those very few people who don't know much about you, mate, you married Gabrielle Bartlett back in 2018 on the show. Were you serious about finding a relationship in 2018 on Maps, mate, when you applied?
100%. I mean, when I applied, I was 50 years old. I'm 54 this year. Oh yeah, 100%. Because, I thought at my age, what have I got to lose at my age? I might as well give it a go, and maybe someone else can find someone for me. I've tried the internet dating, a lot of work in internet dating, and I thought this is an opportunity that came up, and it was an exciting opportunity, and it wasn't really for TV because we all had no idea about this TV business, but it was more like curiosity, and I wanted to explore it, and I thought, look, if they find me someone, it'd be great if I can meet someone on this show and actually be with them. That'd be fantastic. That was the reason I did it.
Right, okay. And why didn't it work out with Gabby in the end?
Well, we halfway through, I realised that they didn't match you for love, really. They didn't match you to get on. They matched you to be chalk and cheese opposites. It didn't work out because Gabrielle's a completely different person. She had a child, which I sort of said I didn't want someone with a child, but she had a child. That's fair enough. The second thing was, there was we had nothing in common. Like, we had no really conversation. She was a little bit depressive all the time. She drank every night, which I don't really drink. And we had no conversation. When we sat down together, we had no conversation. Like, the next day, I would say, hey, do you want to go for a ride down the beach, or let's go do some shopping or something? Oh, no, you go. I'll just stay here and I'll wait for you to come back to go filming. Gabrielle, I think, was more worried about the way she looked and about the other girls on the show than about anything else, really.
So you don't see anything of her anymore? You don't speak to her now?
Oh, no. I don't see her at all. It's not like, I mean, if I see her, I say hello, but no, any connection or any like, how you going, how's things? No. That's completely over. It's finished.
Mate, did you find another relationship after the show, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I've had many relationships after the show. Many relationships after the show. But it's sort of it's hard to know at the moment. I want to get like a permanent gig somewhere, or hosting something or whatever. Relationship at the moment, it's not a priority at this stage. But I go on dates and stuff. I'm never alone. It's not like I'm sitting at home alone. But as a full-time marriage relationship, not yet.
Right, okay. Mate, I've seen that you've recently said you've basically been playing the character of a deluded reality star since the show ended, and that you're trying to extend your 15 minutes of fame. And you also said you can't keep playing this character forever. What do you mean by that? Are people not seeing the Real Nasser on television?
They haven't seen the Real Nasser at all. The character I'm playing is basically, that Australia's favourite celebrity, blah 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 blah. Sort of having fun with it, but they haven't seen the Real Nasser. The Real Nasser will come out. If I'm at a party or I'm hosting a show or in an ad, you'll see the Real Nasser. But when it comes to reality TV, well, I play that character of, like, that don't care character that takes a piss out of things, and that, but eventually that will go, because you can't play the character all the time. And if you've seen my latest videos on my social media, now I talk about what goes on behind the scenes of these shows, not so much of attacking these characters, these people. So we're slowly changing.
Yeah. Do you feel you need to have a character? Do you feel you need a character to be Nasser?
Well, I'm good at what I do. I'm very good at what I do. I'm very convincing, very good at what I do. I don't need a script to say something. So you do have to have a character. Like, and I put on a character when, I'm, if I'm doing an ad or something. It's like yeah, you're doing a show or whatever. Of course, I do feel like I have to have a character because that's what makes it interesting.
Okay. Okay. You also said that you want your name to be known by everyone across Australia. It all went wrong because I started to embed myself in the lives of everybody else. So why are you still doing it, if that's the case? I want to ask
Uh,
that question.
well, getting my name in to get people to know my name in Australia. If you're going back to your question, they do now anyway, and that's taken many years to get there to where I am. And I do want to get even bigger and bigger and bigger. But that takes time, and it's always look. At the end of the day, it's all about the headline, and I can create a great headline. So if I can create a great headline, you'll read the story, wouldn't you? So if I didn't have a headline, if I didn't create a great headline, you're not going to read the story. So, I call it as the Shane Warne of spin sometimes. So it's like the Shane Warne of spin. That's what it is. I move it a bit, spin it a bit, do it, and bang, there's a headline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And like, has being such a public figure and all the backlash that you do get online been hard for you mentally? Like,
Yeah.
how are you actually coping with that? Because I know personally, being off a reality TV show and a big series of a reality TV show,
Yeah.
it's not an easy step to take, is it?
No, it's not. But you have to be strong, and I'm very strong. I can deal with it. I can handle it. There's no problem with that. And I do a bit of investigation. So if someone sends me a message or bags me out, I look at their Instagram or Facebook. I do a bit of research and go, oh yeah, it's a 19-year-old from Melbourne, or it's like a 27-year-old tradie that's a fucking loser anyway. So I'm not going to take that seriously. Do you know what I mean? It's just words. And if you can't handle that, you shouldn't be in reality TV. You shouldn't be in anywhere really. If you can't handle the backlash and you can't handle, being told off or whatever, and don't do it. Don't be on these shows if you can't handle it. You need to handle the huge backlash that comes with. And I can handle it, and I think I've done it very well. And sometimes it does upset me or piss me off when it's a personal attack, when they don't know you, when it's like a real personal attack or a family attack or whatever. But calling me names like you're an idiot, your 5 minutes of fame is over and that. Oh, who cares? And my comeback to that is like, well, I think it's been extended to 30 minutes of fame. 5 minutes of fame is not enough. I wanted 30 and I've got 30. Or things like, you're a loser. I can't believe you did this. My response to that would be, well, you're here on my Instagram. I'm not on yours.
Right.
So you got to
Okay.
be
Yeah.
tough. You got to be tough. You got to be tough, and you got to deal with it and not worry about it. Otherwise, you go crazy.
But when you say that you don't like, you cop personal attacks, and
Yeah.
it's not right from people to give personal attacks. When you're talking about personal things, do you not find that running people down like on maths and things like that being a personal attack when you actually personally don't know that person?
No, it's not, because if I don't have the information on somebody, I wouldn't say it and I wouldn't print it. If someone hasn't rang me, like a girlfriend, a sister, a brother, or a parent or whatever, rang me and said, "Hey, this is what's happened," blah 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 blah, I wouldn't be uh, posting about it. And I'll give you an example. Do you want me to give you an example? A very good example.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, here's an example. The lady that's on this season now, Joanne, her name is Joanne.
Yep.
That's that's with this car salesman.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Now I've had conversations with her ex partner, right, or ex partners. Now this woman's got had three different partners, three different kids to them. So three different kids with three different partners. Yeah. So when a partner rings you, right, contacts you through Facebook and says, "Mate, what can I do here? My son, I'm protecting my son. He's 17. She's this, that, and the other. We didn't know that she was going to be on this show until she rang us up from Sydney. And this is the story. What do? I say, no worries. He goes, mate, I love that you ousted her out. I love that what you're saying about her is true, that she's only in it for fame and money. But our kids here, I got together with the other fathers, and our kids here are suffering for this because, you know, people are looking at them and their stories out in the media. And he's saying to me, you know, she's a gold digger. She just wanted money. She wanted this. She wanted that. So to me, that's why not? And I'll say it, and I will say it on social media. But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't go, oh yeah, by the way, this woman Joanne did this and this and this. If I don't have the facts, I wouldn't say it. So it's not a personal attack. It's actually true. And I know it's true because people tell me from that are close to these people, what are their characters like. Like
So,
Owen.
Sorry, mate. Do you know this guy? Did you know him before he rang you?
No, but I've spoken to him about 3-4 times, and you know, and I've spoken to the other fathers that she's involved with. So it's not like some random.
I know. So why do you think that he rang you though, out of all people?
Because they follow my Instagram and they know that I have no filter, and I'm that person that says it how it is, and they like what I do. So that's why. And he didn't know how to deal with the media because he wanted to say, he was saying to me, how do I deal with the media? Because his story came out in some magazine and it's completely not true.
And you're happy being that person?
I'm happy being that person. Absolutely. If you rang me, you personally rang me or contacted me and said, look, my partner or my dog or my cat or whatever did this, how do I do it? Well, of course I'll help you. It doesn't worry me. If you're on TV and you're someone's telling me that you're in it for fame or you're this or that, and if I've got the evidence, why not? And my people, my followers want to know this stuff. They don't want to see it. They want to know that, is it bullshit? Is it not bullshit? That's why I have the hashtag in Nass we trust, because that's what you need to do. You need to in Nass we trust, and you need to print that T-shirt. But I'll send you a T-shirt if you like.
You really blow my bloody mind, mate, honestly. I don't know what you get out of it. Like,
I love
really
it.
putting other people down like that, though.
But it's not even putting them down. They deserve it.
But it is. No. It actually is putting them down, though. Even though you're getting the info, I know you're not. It's not a troll, but it's still putting them down when this specific person that you're talking about has no idea, have never met you. They'd know you because they're on maths, of course. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, from an outsider's perspective, do you see where I'm coming from with that?
Yeah, I can. But this is my business. I'm like I'm like, I don't know if you remember I'm like the Alan Jones of Australia. You know, like, I say it how it is. And if you're faking it on TV, and I know you're faking it, well, I'll tell the people that you're faking it. If you're had got a girlfriend from the outside, but you're on TV pretending to be married, well, I'll say this person's got a girlfriend on the outside, and he's just on TV for the fucking to get his Instagram followers up, you know, and I make money from it, for God's sake. You know, I'm like the go-to guy for reality TV. So don't ever cross me, Justin. Don't ever cross me.
Jason.
You and Justin, Jason, fucking hell.
Oh, mate, I get Owen all the time too, because that's my surname, so that's all right. Mate, do you miss who you used to be, Nasser?
Do I miss who I used to be? No way. No way. I love the attention. I go to restaurants and stuff and people want to take photos. I go out to a cafe and people buy me coffee. Why would I want anything else? It's fantastic. Chicks love me. Chicks always send me messages and stuff. Why would I want anything else? I want to be bigger and better. And they asked me that question on the reunion. They said, "Why did you come back? Why did you come back?" Now, do you want to hear my answer? Why I came back? Why I said to them? I said to them for 3 things, right? And listen to this: 3 things. Why I did the reunion. 1, for fame. 2, for ratings, and 3, for money. And they said, are you looking forward to seeing anyone in this reunion? I said, listen, they should be looking forward to see me. I don't look forward to see them. I'm bigger than them. I'm Australia's favourite celebrity. And the girl said, you know what? You cracked me up. You're all over it.
What is it about fame that you like? Tell me exactly what it is about fame, because I want to know what it is that you like about it, because I myself, a lot of other people that have come off shows and different things like that, mate, it's a hard thing to deal with, and it just blows my mind to think that you live for the actual attention and the fame of this. and I want to know what it is.
Mate, what it is, it's that it's to be known, and recognised everywhere, and you know, and not get the free things. I do get offered free things, but I don't take them. I don't want them. If you offer me stuff, I'll help you with the business. I don't want anything. But mate, I just love the attention. I love the attention. I love when I go to catch a plane, for example, I get upgraded to business class. You know, if I'm in the street or a cafe, people turn around and go, "Oh, there's Nasser over there. Oh, there's that Nasser." You know, blah blah blah. So I absolutely love it, and I want more of it, and I want to be bigger and bigger and bigger, and I want to be, you know, name on billboards. You know, he's Nass, your friendly man.
Okay. Yeah, well, so another question I wanted to ask you this personally, because I've read some comments here and there about you and seen some things in the press about you. So you campaign a lot for different shows. So you get on there, and I seen a photo of you the other day with Julia Morris and Dr. Chris Brown with one of them for "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here," for example, and we post videos about what the producers are saying to the contestants on MAFS and, you know, the network and how they treat you and what they do and the show and all this type of stuff on there. And a question I wanted to ask you was that if you're campaigning for something like "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here," and you go on and you run down, you know, the way the producers treat you on the show, the cast of the show, which reflects on the network of 9 and all that type of stuff, and you're trying to, you know, campaign for another show like "I'm a Celebrity" on another network, do you think that the network will actually have you on when you're running down an opponent network?
Well, I don't run down the show, and I don't run down maths. I actually like maths. I don't run down maths, but I do laugh at the characters that the show has. So maths is maths, right? But I do disagree with the characters they have. Now, if 10,000 people apply for one show and they pick Gold Coast housewives and tradies from the suburbs, I mean, really, that's no vision to me. But the thing is, I look at all the others, like "I'm a Celebrity," which I got asked to be on there twice, mind you, and Channel 9 stopped it. So let's get that straight. So I did get asked twice to be on that show, but Channel 9 stopped it.
Started the show, producers and that. So was that before you started posting these videos about the producers getting in contestants' ear and all that type of stuff on MAFS?
No. They knew exactly what I was like. They knew I'm headline grabbing person. They knew that, you know, I hound and hustle and all that stuff. They knew that. They knew that. But because our contract at that time was 2 years long, which we didn't know, so Channel 9 stopped it. Right? You can't do anything for 2 years. This is where now I'm surprised with these guys here that they can go out and show off girls that they're hanging out with without their episodes finished. Do you know what I mean? We didn't have that. We had to still wear our wedding rings until the whole series finished. We couldn't take our wedding rings off. We still had to hang out together to make sure if people see us that we're still married, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Now that doesn't matter. So now it doesn't matter. But let me tell you this. If these networks don't see the value of me and see the value that I would bring to that show, well, they're nuts. Because a lot of the characters that are on these shows are fucking boring. They're forgotten about, especially Big Brother. Do you remember Big Brother last year? Tell me any contestants you remember on there. I don't remember. I only remember the chick that drinks tea, the dark girl that drank tea. Right? That's all I remember. I don't remember all the other characters. Do you know what I'm saying? You've got to have a character to remember someone by. And I'm lucky I'm still remembered because I'm a character. But you look at "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here" this year, total flop. Where's the characters? I don't remember anyone. The year before they had Ryan. They had Ryan on there, right? And they wanted the love story between him and that English girl, which completely frizzled out because he can't talk and he can't say a joke and he frizzled out. So they need someone like me to be on there. And if they don't pick it, I think they're losing it. If you want ratings, you get me on there. And because love to hate, people will still watch me because they wouldn't know what I'm going to do next. And that's the thing. So I have been asked twice to be on that show, but yes, I do campaign, and I campaigned for The Bachelor, if you remember. And they should have me as The Bachelor. I'd be an amazing Bachelor. Not like these fucking idiots that so-called the scientist that was supposed to be an astronaut or something, but he worked at National Australia Bank as a fucking teller, but they didn't tell you that. You know what I mean? And they said, oh, he's a physicist or scientist or whatever it's called. You know, where is he now? Where are they? See, if you're going on that show and you're hungry for something, you'll get it. A lot of these people, they go on that show, they finish it, they think they're going to be stars, they don't get it because you need to hustle. You need to uh, create this thing around you. And I've done that. I've created this mystery around me. And it goes back to your question now. It's like, how do you deal with it? What is Nasser about? Do you know what I mean? Like you've gone into you still don't know. And that's great. That's great. If I'm still a mystery to you and everybody else, that's fantastic. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm doing my job. That's how it works. So eventually I will get on the show or I will host something. Eventually I will, because you can't ignore it. You can't ignore 3 years of constant headlines from me. You can't ignore it. Whether you laugh at me, whether you say he's an idiot, I never want to put him on another show again. Doesn't matter. I'm still in your face. And in this country, people want controversy. They want someone that's out there that's going to say it how it is, not somewhere that fucking reads a script or reads the cue card. Right now, I give you one more example before you ask me the next question. When Sam or the guy with the fashion guy on Nishi, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The fashion guy that left last week with Coco, right? He was with Coco. He got onto Nova or something. I saw an interview with Nova. Now the woman that interviewed him, I think she was on another reality show. I'm not sure. She was on another reality. Now she's sitting there interviewing this guy, and she's fixing her nails. She's not even looking at him. She's fixing her nails, putting moisturizer on her nails. I found that fucking disgusting. You're interviewing a guy. Pay attention to the interviewer, not do your nails. You see what I mean? That's the thing. And some of the questions aren't even hard enough. If that was me, I'd be wiping the floor with the questions. So that's why Australia needs a Nasser. We all need a Nasser in our lives.
Yeah, mate. So, what's your background, Nasser? Tell us about your upbringing and your younger years, and perhaps do you have any challenges that you've gone through your life?
I had a very good upbringing. I had my last name is Sultan, as you know. It's a very, very big, respected family. I could say I'm a royal family over in Egypt. My background's Egyptian, and very sport, very good upbringing. My parents were in politics over in Egypt for a long, long time, and my father was the minister of what do they call it here? You know, when you want to open a shop or open a restaurant or whatever, you go to that department, whatever it's called. Yeah, he was the minister of that. So I had an amazing lifestyle, and my mother had a beautiful lifestyle too. So it's not like we were destitute. And that, as they say, we flew over on Qantas where the others took the boat.
Okay, yeah. And were you born and bred over there?
Yeah, born and bred over there. Came here when I was 13.
Okay. So you go back home. You go back over there.
I've been back once, but I will go back. But I'm not in a hurry to go back. I mean, Egypt is great. What do we have? We have tourism. That's what Egypt survives on, tourism. A lot of these Arab countries survive on tourism, except the oil in some of the countries. But we're tourism. I don't want to go back. I want to go back as a tourist. I don't want to go back as to live or to whatever. You know what I mean? Australia is my home. I love this country, but I hate the rules here. There's so many frigging rules.
Yeah. No. When people first got to know you, back in 2018, you were a personal trainer. What do you do nowadays?
I still what I do now is I have a group of personal trainer. I was teaching classes at many gyms. I teach everything. I teach Pilates. I teach aqua and all that. But now I've got a group of oldies, ex-CEOs, which I do training with, still do training with, but they're all sort of ex-CEOs, retired CEOs and stuff. And that's what I do in the mornings, just for a couple of hours in the morning, and that's about it. And then I do my media stuff. I do some interviews here and there. I get on the UFM in Newcastle every week and give the spiel about reality TV. And I'm doing an ad next month, a beer ad next month. So, you get called to do bits and pieces here and there, But as far as me working full time, and that I don't need to be honest with you. I really don't need to.
Mate. Well, cool. Just before we finish up, what's next in the pipeline for Nasser? Where are we going to see you next, mate?
Well,
what do you got working on?
I've got an ad. I'm doing a couple of ads in the next few months, a couple of TV ads, and hoping that I will get on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here this year. I've been hounding the producers every 2 weeks, mate. I send them a text saying, hey, don't forget. So hopefully I will get onto that. Once I get onto that, well, then that will get me away from maths and get me away from the dating shows. Because, I did First Dates as well, and I've done Porn Stars Australia. So, I'm very lucky, mate. I'm lucky that I've done 5 shows since maths, where the others have done nothing. So that's pretty damn good. But hopefully I'll get another show this year. And if I don't, so be it. It doesn't matter, It doesn't matter. But I'll always be. Remember that song, "Thorn by My Side"? Remember that? The song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rhythmics.
And I will be thorn by your side.
Well, mate, all the best for the future, Nasser, and thanks so much for joining us, mate. We really appreciate it, and no doubt we'll see you somewhere again very soon.
Mate,
Cheers, mate.
I hope so, and don't edit anything. Do it as straight it is, my fella. Do it. Get it out there. Tell them #1 star, Australia's favourite celebrity, is on there. And take note, you bastards.